Alright everybody, we're back for another of the same thing we've been working on. Wait, has my microphone shadow always been in there like that? Huh. Anyway. Yeah, so Cody ran this car at Daytona last year. And I want to say it was sometime around March, maybe April. We decided to add these onto his fundraising campaign for his comic book. And it took me a long time. It took me a long time to figure it out and to get all the decals done and work on them all and all that stuff. So, it's unfortunate that you only are going to be here for a little bit. Cody, what's up? I was just telling Nice Racing why we're making these 50 for you. These ones will take us to 36. So I'll be down to 14 to go. So I'm snowed in. Don't really have too much to go. Don't really have too much to do. So hopefully the audio levels are good. Hopefully you guys are doing well out there. I know, Cody, you're down in the south, but we got a 50-50 poll. Oh, I guess since you're here, that reminds me I should probably post it to Twitter. Not that many people really follow my Twitter or whatever, but thanks. We're getting it. We're getting it. I know you're not racing this year, or you don't have plans to race yet this year, but if you ever want another car, let me know. I'm not doing 50. 50, this was a one and done, but hey, we'll take care of you. So hopefully you guys are doing well down there, staying out of the ice. I think what was more bad in the south was the ice that was coming through. I don't know how far south you guys are. If I live in a place that got snow, I have an excuse to make customs all the time. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, we haven't really got a ton of snow the past handful of years. This year, for whatever reason, this year and last year, we've gotten a decent amount of snow. What we've got today has been the most. We're probably around a foot of snow right now. And then last week, we got about 6 to 8 inches as well. So, yeah, not super common where I am, but just rain there. Okay, so that's not too bad then, I guess. Here, let's post this. See if people are snowed in and want to join. Then Cody, I guess you lucked out if it just rained. Wrong start game, got a lightning delay, and we played in 50 degree in the rain. Yeah, I've the lightning delays are no joke. 10 at night outdoor, I'm assuming. I have played in the snow before, actually. It's rough. It is rough. Okay, so let's see. Camel cast. Cody, you're like, I don't know what it is. You're shadow banned on Twitter. Okay. I'm not trying to just make my streams these cars all the time, but I figured it'd be fun to hang out. We had a lot of Premier League action over the weekend, and we also had the Rolex 24-hour race. That was interesting. I watched quite a bit of it. I should have put that in the poll, but that's okay. So, all right, now that that's done, this water's in the decal, or this decal's in the water. Tweets out. All right, now we'll see if people join. But thank you guys for being here, for hanging out for a little bit. I know, Nice, you said you got to go soon, not too far into the future. And then, I mean, Cody, you might be streaming tonight. I don't even know. I haven't looked at your schedule. Yeah, I didn't watch your last stream. We were busy, but hopefully you're doing well down there. A little bit of rain. That's not too bad. I know up here we're a little bit more well-equipped to deal with the snow than what you guys are down in the south. We have cousins that live in Huntsville, Alabama. So, yeah, they said they were getting ready and preparing and all that stuff. So I don't really know. I haven't heard from them. I would assume they're okay, but you never know. So, yeah, other than that, we'll just kind of wait for some people to roll in and see how it's going. My camera died, so I did a fireside stream in my main hall where my fireplace is. Alright, maybe I'll have to give it a watch tomorrow. I'll give it a watch on the playback. Like to be able to watch a full stream, you make 164. So I'm actually planning on doing a kind of behind the scenes how-to video for Michael Marutz's car that I'm working on for him, secret car. And I'll release that once I'm done with it, but I'm doing a full how-to. For 124s, the same kind of applies for 164s, but maybe I'll do a 164 behind the scenes also. But yeah, Cody, the house that we have right now does not have a fireplace, a real fireplace. That's one thing, the next house that I purchase, I would like to have, is a real fireplace. I've always liked them. I don't know, we never really had one. Also, it's pretty good for practical things, like if the power goes out in the middle of a snowstorm, you could always heat your house with that. So, things to consider. But I'll give it a look tomorrow. I'll watch it back on replay. I've been watching most of your streams on Rumble lately, just because I have Rumble Premium. Alright, nice. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, even though it was a short stint. But yeah, so I'll catch up on the stream tomorrow. Hopefully, I only ever used the one in my main hall. So do you have two fireplaces? Are they stacked? Like, first floor, second floor? Or... because that would be cool too. I'd like to have something like that. That's kind of what I'm envisioning when we get a house like that away from everybody. But yeah, today was a lot. We got a decent amount of snow. It was probably 10 to 12 inches, probably a foot. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Do you have your cars on the mantle on top of it? Well, I guess first question, is there a mantle on top of it? And then second question, do you have all of your custom cars on top of it? Because that'd be pretty cool. I shoveled the driveway twice, actually. In the amount of time that it took me to shovel it once, more snow rolled in, so I kind of went inside, warmed up, waited a little bit, then went back outside and shoveled it again. And then it since has snowed more, so I'll be working from home tomorrow, which is fine. There's really no reason to go out if I can work from home, so all my NASCAR related stuff is in my piano room on the West Wing. I don't know if you've ever seen Beauty and the Beast, but when you say the West Wing, it reminds me of that movie, because I think that's where the rose is kept or something, and Belle's not allowed in the West Wing. I know you're a little older, so you kind of grew up with the 90s movies and stuff. Like, I'm a little bit younger than you, but not by much, but we grew up on all those movies too. So it was kind of like a cultural phenomenon. James Halliday, welcome back. Hopefully you're doing well also. Did you vote in the poll? So far, two of you guys, whoever voted, not experiencing this lovely snow that we're getting. I guess, I don't know if I can vote on my own poll. I've never tried it, but I am experiencing lots of snow. I actually heard that the whole storm cell kind of shifted northward. Oh, you are getting some snow? Cool. Hopefully it's not too bad. It was kind of a weird day. Like, I didn't mind it. I didn't really have a lot to do. I worked on a little bit of editing videos. I got the nose decals put on these cars, so I didn't have to do it on stream. And then that was it. We watched Premier League. I'm gonna go for a run after the stream, so it'll be a late run tonight. Oh, you're not experiencing snow. Okay. Oh, you're doing well, but not experiencing snow. Okay, I got you. So yeah, after the stream, I'm gonna go for a little run, and then I don't know if you guys can still hear it, but I'm just on the ascendancy for this cold. I'm just coming out of it. It wasn't too bad. It was, I don't know what I would call it. It was like a very, very slight congestion. No, a very, very slight ache with some congestion. That was about it. It only lasted like probably 3 or 4 days. Didn't really have a lot of snot or anything like that, so not too bad. It's your normal winter cold that I get pretty much every year. It is what it is. So yeah, but I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for joining. How did you like my custom? That was pretty cool. I liked it. I'm assuming you're gonna keep on keeping on. You're going to keep on making them, keep on working on them. I think if you just joined, I mentioned a little bit earlier, probably before you joined, Nice Racing was in the chat, and he was looking for a custom diecast kind of behind the scenes or how to. And I am going to be doing that for Michael Marutz's car. It's for a 124, but the same will apply for 164, and maybe I'll do a 164 also to kind of just do it also on a different car. It'll be a different car, but we'll see. Show probable spam. Oh, Cody, appreciate the retweet. Man, you got your... Yeah, I'm going to start working on a few more custom. I like it. I think, so one of the things that frustrated me when I was growing up with these cars was that not every single paint scheme was made. Now, I was a Jeff Gordon fan growing up, so most of Gordon's cars were all made. I don't really remember a year where there was not a Jeff Gordon car available, but when I started collecting kind of on a larger scale in 2007, my goal was to kind of get every single car that I could. And then that kind of morphed from 07 to 2008, 2009, 2010. I was getting all of those cars from your local stores like Walmart and Target. I'm trying to think where else. Toys R Us had them at the time. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. Heard they might be coming back, not sure. I'd have to do some more research to confidently say anything on that. But when 2011 rolled around, I decided that I would, and Lionel purchased, they purchased Action Motorsports Authentics. They kind of all merged together. I decided I'm going to buy all of the cars from Lionel, because also they weren't really in the stores. Like Spin Master was making cars, but they were different. The body shapes were weird. The proportions were all strange. So I went direct from Lionel and bought all the cars from 2011. And I also, in doing that, started my custom career because they didn't make a lot of cars. They made a lot of them, but they also didn't make a lot. Mostly like the smaller teams, the unsponsored cars, ones with, you know, they didn't have a sponsor on the hood or down the quarter panels or anything. It was just like what was one? The 46 car. I'm trying to think. Maybe JJ Yaley raced the 46. It was, I think it was all white or all red with just the numbers, the contingencies, and the manufacturer decals. So like this one's Chevrolet. I think they were Chevrolet also. And so I started, people would sell decals on eBay. They were getting them from Pato's place in Australia. And so typically what you do is you buy, you know, a set of decals from Pato's, and it comes in a, I think they came in like 3 or 4 packs. The sheets did. So you'd get one sheet, and if you want to make one car, that's great. But if you only want to make one car, then you have 2 or 3 extra sets of decals. So people would sell them on eBay. So I started buying those and making cars from there, and that was really cool. And that's kind of how I got into it. I've already made a custom Ryan Blaney Miller Lite Ford Mustang, and I use whiteout and a Sharpie. See, I have seen those. I skipped that phase. I tried my hand painting once upon a time. Didn't go all that well. I didn't love it, and so I immediately moved into decals and haven't looked back. Decals give you the most crisp look. They give you the most accurate look. You know, they're a little hard to work with sometimes, but super worth it. As you guys can see from these cars, like high amounts of detail. You could probably, let's see if you can read. Yeah, like you can read the contingency decals. So, I've never looked back once I started using decals. And now I know it costs money and everything, and like, you know, everybody uses what they can, but if you're in a spot to use decals, 100%. But that's kind of cool that you do the whiteout with the Sharpies. That takes a different amount of skill, a different skill set, but I think it's still cool. Like the car you sent me was pretty neat. So yeah, keep it up. Keep up the good work. Once you get experience, you get smart. Okay. Yeah, so you've had a few years at it, so you're kind of honing your craft, and you're getting better and better at it, which is good. And yeah, so for me personally, I started working on cars in 2011. Really kind of 2010, maybe 2009. Started like a little bit dabbling, but I really started working on cars in 2011. And since then, I don't even know how many cars I've made. It's so many. 164 and 124. It's so many cars. I used to make them for myself. Now I kind of make them for other people. I don't know. NASCAR's lost it a little bit on me in the recent years, but so I haven't been as interested. But there are a few that I've made for myself, like the one that I had my name on. I have Cody's Mid-Ohio car that he ran where I met him at. I was thinking about making this car, this Daytona car, because I have a piece of the body panel, this right rear body panel, but we'll see. I'm kind of sick of this car. Hopefully Cody's not on here anymore. If he is, I'm sorry. But I'm sick of seeing this car. I've made it so many times. I don't know if I want to make another one. I have enough decals to make more than 50 164s, so maybe I'll make myself one, but I don't know. I only have made one template. I made diecast. This Xfinity Series diecast. As far as the Xfinity cars go, I like working. It's kind of a double-edged sword because I like working with them on the 124 scale side because the trunk and the roof flaps don't open, just the hood opens. And so from a like headache standpoint, it's easier to work on them because you don't have to worry about cutting the decals around the trunk or around the roof flaps. Like for this car, you can see the roof flaps. You'd have to cut out around the roof flaps on the 124 car because for this one anyway, it's a 2014, 2015 Chevy SS body. So they only made those with opening hoods, opening trunks, and it has more detail, but it takes a little bit more time and more work for me. So it is what it is. Like I said, double-edged sword. I do like having the extra detail. I'm always for the detail. On my cars that I keep for myself, generally speaking, I make them on Elite chassis, which have more detail, like the hood and the roof flap and the deck lid tethers. But yeah, I haven't made one of those in a while. But it all depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to, not take a ton of time to make the cars, you know, less detail is fine. Plus, again, they're just going to kind of sit on your shelf somewhere, or, you know, on your room, your window ledge, or in a case. So how often are you going to have them displayed with the roof flaps, the hood, all of that open? Probably not too often. Like, all of my cars are closed. Everything's closed on all of them. So, I mean, if that tells you anything. Most of them have all that detail, but you don't even see it anyway. So, it's all whatever you want to make it. Now, I will say this. The value of the Elites continues to go up. So, if you're making Elite diecast or you have Elite diecast, the value of them is going to be higher just because of the smaller production quantity, especially these days. Very, very small production quantity these days compared to like the early 2000s and kind of mid 2000s, early 2010s. But honestly, a lot of those cars are hard to come by. They're pretty hard to find owners for. So, because either a lot of them have become customs or people just aren't selling them or whatever the case may be. But it's a fun hobby. I mean, I don't know. I like it because you have the chance to have cars that were never made. Like, no offense to Cody, but they really don't make any ARCA cars. Because of the Exalta logo on the hood. Oh, that was one of my favorite parts about the Jeff Gordon cars is the big A Exalta, because it fit nicely right in the center of the hood. Not like the DuPont where it came across the hood so you had to cut it, but the Exalta fit just on the hood. But yeah, like they're not making many ARCA cars. They don't hardly make any ARCA cars. And so that's what makes this all the more cool is you can actually take Cody's car and make it and then give it to him. And all the people that got his comic book. So, yeah, it's something cool. But yeah, good to have you guys here on this Sunday evening. This will kind of be a little bit more what we'll be streaming like during the season. This will be something more similar to what you guys will see. So it'll probably be like 8 o'clock on a Sunday. We'll go live. We'll talk about the race. Now, I haven't talked about the race yet, or the Premier League, because we've been talking about other things, but it'll sort of be more this format. 8 o'clock on a Sunday. Maybe I'll bump it up to like, well, maybe I'll keep it at 8. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Jeff Gordon's 2011, 2012, maybe 2010 DuPont car in 164. Well, if it's 2010, it will have the wing on the back of it. And if it's 2011 or 2012, it'll have the spoiler. And the difference, so the 2010 and 2011 paint schemes are the same. They're the red, orange, yellow, black Firestorm, where the flames are crawling down the side of it. If it's the 2012 car, they went to a different paint scheme, and it has like, it's all base black with like orange and red like circles and swooshes and stuff on it. It's not a flame car, so it was a little different seeing that on track. But I know all about those cars because I went back and I made every single Gordon car from 2012 with that DuPont paint scheme. I made them all. It was in Elite, 2012 Elite. It was a tall task. I have one with the spoiler and one with the wing. Okay, nice. Yeah, I mean I have a lot of Gordon cars too. So, as he was my favorite driver, I collected pretty much every single Gordon car that there was to be collected. I got a lot still in boxes that I don't even have displayed because I just don't have room for them all. One day I'll get to it. One day, like I said, when I move. Ryan Sieg not running Patreon. Braden, first of all, hope you're doing well. Not sure if you voted in the poll. I saw it jump up to 5, and also no has taken the lead. So my assumption is that you were the one that voted no in the poll, so you are not experiencing this lovely winter storm we're having. But I agree. I like the new paint scheme. I don't hate it. You're right. It is going to take a little bit of getting used to. The one thing that still does, annoy me a tiny, tiny smidge, just for me personally, is the fact that I'm still going to have to double paint the car. So I'm going to have to paint it white, mask it off, paint the other half black, and then put the decals on. So that's a little annoying, but I won't complain about that. I'm doing fine. We got about a foot of snow up here in the great state of Ohio, and I shoveled the driveway twice today for the amount of snow that we got, but other than that, it's pretty good. I'm going to work from home tomorrow, and yeah, other than that, I'm doing all right. I'm going for a run after, just on the treadmill after this. I'm not going outside, obviously, but I'm going to do my run tonight, and yeah, I figured I'd just hop on, decal some cars, hang out with you guys, see how everybody was doing. Okay, so I understand, James, what you're talking about with the throwback, not having the throwback weekend, but it got so lame. The Xfinity cars were great. The Xfinity and the Truck Series were great. Cup cars, as soon as they moved the numbers forward, I knew it was only a matter of time before they got rid of it. I was very disappointed with the whole throwback thing. Maybe personally because there were a lot of cars that they threw the paint schemes back to that I didn't even recognize. So, like, I don't know. My NASCAR knowledge goes from, like, the mid to late 90s up to modern day. So I didn't really start watching until 2001, 2002. And so my knowledge kind of went back a few years, but like I was born in 96, so I obviously didn't watch anything before that. And so yeah, them getting rid of it, I guess it's not really a surprise. It's disappointing, but like take Jeff Gordon for example. 3M didn't even run a throwback paint scheme in 2015 at Darlington. I was at that race. I was so disappointed. All of the cool paint schemes that Gordon had throughout his entire career, and they didn't like 3M was just like, nah, we're good. Now he did throw he did have the Exalta paint scheme the previous week at Bristol, but it was just I don't know, it was weird. Especially considering that Exalta wasn't DuPont, so it looked strange on the car. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time with the throwbacks having either different colors or different sponsors, so I can understand why it's gone. Hey, our throwback weekend for the trucks and series. And Xfinity series, wow. Yeah, they could have for them, and honestly, maybe they'll do their own thing. Maybe the teams and the drivers and the crews, they'll say, hey, we like doing this anyway. Why not keep it going? Hopefully. I'm not sure. Oh. It was Las Vegas. Cody, it was 2008 Las Vegas. Yeah, he tried to knock the wall down. It was right coming out of turn 2. There was that cutout on the infield wall. And he hit right in the opening. Yeah, we could draw it. Like, here's the inside wall. And then his car hit, like, right here. Coming off of turn 2. I think he got loose under, like, I think it was Matt Kenseth or something. And just smoked the wall. In 2008 was the first year that Gordon didn't win a race all season. So I think that was kind of the main start of his back problems. Oh, and I don't think that wall had safer barriers either, if I remember correctly. I'm glad it's gone. Sorry, a little stale. Less teams running throwbacks. Yeah, I get it. I totally do. Um, it's a really cool idea. It's a really cool concept. I think it has potential to come back um, in the not too distant future, but I don't know. Having the numbers in the wrong spot on the doors really annoys me, and then having throwback paint schemes with the numbers not in the right spots on the doors double annoys me. So, and then also having teams just not participate in it as well was like, it's just a combination of annoyances, and it didn't even really make it special. Now, one thing I will say, I think I talked about this last stream, was my dad and I went to Darlington in 2015 for the throwback race, and we got the Legends breakfast. So there was like Ned Jarrett and Richard Petty and Terry Labonte and all those guys, and that was really cool to see. So I think they should still honor the past in some way, the past drivers, the past crew members, teams. They should still do that somehow. But I don't know. Running the paint schemes on track, I think it did run its course, especially with the lack of participation from a lot of the teams, which was disappointing. I have Tony Stewart's Burger King car in 124 and a lot of Jeff Gordon 164's. Wait, no. Yeah. I think the Burger King car was from 2009, right? I think... Is that the one? Is that the one that he wrecked Kyle Busch at Daytona? I think it was the Daytona July race, right? Where Kyle Busch, I think he was in the Interstate green car, and he was blocked high, blocked low, and then Kyle got turned off the nose of Tony. I feel like that was the Burger King car. I could be wrong. It was like white and blue or something. If you guys are like... If you haven't talked to me, I have such a useless amount of NASCAR knowledge. It's not funny. My brain is a terrible place to be. Because every day from, like, when I would come home from school back in the mid to late 2000s when the Speed Channel was still a thing, I'd watch anything on the Speed Channel. But a lot of times NASCAR would be on, and on the weekends they'd have the races, and they'd have tons of coverage. And so I just watched that, and they'd have it on ESPN when they had a contract. So I just watched NASCAR all the time. That was like my main thing. And then once YouTube kind of became more prominent, and you could watch clips and highlights and look up stats and videos and all that stuff, it just, yeah, it's a hobby kind of, but it's an obsession. Stewart's making... Don't get me started on the lack of teams in the sport. There are a lot, or sponsors in the sport. There are a lot that it's a shame that they're no longer there. I did see Hardee's was coming back though with 2311. I thought that was kind of cool. I don't think they've been in it for a while. I don't remember seeing a Hardee's scheme in a while. But they were a sponsor in the 80s, pretty sure 80s, 90s. Then they went away for a little while. Grammy Song and Tony Stewart Digger. Okay, cool. Now, one thing I do know about that is they never made, to my knowledge, they did not make a raced version of that Daytona win for whatever reason. I don't think. Because I think it was from 2009. So, at one point I was going to make it, just because it was one of those iconic sort of finishes, and it had a lot of confetti on it. So I always like making cars with confetti. Confetti always makes the diecast better. I know there are some people that disagree with that, but if you come over to my house and you're looking at my basement, you're looking at all the cases on the walls, and you see a car with confetti on it, you know they won the race. So you know that one's a little bit more special than some of the other ones. That's my opinion. I don't know if it's a hill I'll die on, but I think confetti makes the diecast look better. Not to mention McDonald's is gone now, which sucks. Okay, so I didn't really look into that. They're out. They're just like completely done. Is that true? because I haven't really done a whole lot of, I'll be honest, I don't really pay that much attention to NASCAR anymore compared to what I used to. I mean, if Cody's racing, I pay attention to the ARCA series or the Truck series if he's in that. Jason was another one. If he would race in the ARCA or Truck series, and then obviously with the 39 team, the Ryan Sieg boys. But Sundays are all right. I don't know. It's very much different than what I grew up watching. And I know every generation kind of says that. But it's really hard. It's really hard to kind of grow up in the peak of NASCAR. Like, I grew up watching the best NASCAR that anybody says. So 2003 to like 2007, before they brought the car tomorrow, like the peak years of the Gen 4. But then even after that, you had really good years with the car tomorrow. So I've gone back and I've watched a lot of races from 2008, 2009. I'm currently watching old races from 2010. Honestly, the racing's not that bad. The racing's pretty good. There's pit strategy, there's tire degradation, there's comers and goers, there's handling changes throughout the race, keeping up with the track. There's no stages. The one thing that there are debris cautions, a lot of them, and they don't really show them. But, you know, if we knew what we had then compared to what we will have now there are some good things about modern NASCAR. I don't want to hate all over it, but just across the board, generally speaking, it's really hard to care when a lot of the decisions that were made seemed to go against what most of the fan base wanted. And a lot of that can be attributed to Brian France, but have Kyle Busch Interstate Phoenix win with all the confetti on it, and 2 of Chase Elliott's first and Cup at Watkins Glen without the confetti. It always disappoints me when yes, I'm enjoying it. Snow plowing. All right. It always disappoints me when there is not confetti on the cars. I mean, I understand why some tracks don't have it, but I always liked it. My dream as a kid growing up was to work on a NASCAR race team and be in victory lane when the confetti is showering down with the Gatorade and beer and water and whatever else they're throwing around. That was kind of always like a dream of mine and what pushed me to want to get into NASCAR, and it never really happened. But yeah, I think they need to go back to victory lane interviews. I do not like them going to the drivers on the track. I sort of understand it because you're close to the fans. You get the fan interaction is right there. But there's just something about victory lane that, I don't know, it was cool. Kyle Busch's Interstate Batteries Phoenix win. Interstate Batteries Phoenix win. What year is that? Phoenix with all the confetti on it. Interstate Battery. The only Interstate Battery paint scheme that I think I know of Kyle Busch. Now, I wasn't really a Kyle Busch fan, but I have a buddy that is, and I've made a couple customs for him. I made him the 2011 Michigan win. I was at that race. That was Interstate, and it was white, mostly white, had some green and black on it. 2017 or 18. I didn't really watch then. Okay, that explains it. Because the other one I was thinking was 2008 Daytona July race. That one has a lot of confetti on it. 2017 or 2018. Yeah, after Gordon retired, I kind of checked out for a few years. 2015, 2016 was like the last year I paid attention. And then I was also at college those years, so I didn't really pay attention to NASCAR all that much. Also, Gordon retiring, I lost a lot of interest. And then I picked it back up kind of in 2022, 2020, probably 2022, I would say. I went to Michigan a few times in those years. We went in 2018, we went in 2019. I think we went in 2017. So I think we kept going to Michigan because it's just a couple hours north of us. And so we kept going to the races just because they were fun. But I didn't really care as much as, when Gordon raced. Oh, I saw Kyle Larson's first win at Michigan in 2017. Custom diecast took you the longest. Is that a question? Like, which custom diecast took me the longest to make? Or these collectively have taken me the longest to make? Because if you're saying these collectively, then yes, these 50 cars have... Well, I don't know. I do have some cars that I've been working on since 2015, just because I bought the donor cars, but... The IndyCar took me a while. It took me quite a few months. The IndyCar took me a few months, I guess. I don't know if there was really one specific car that took me that long. The only reason it would really take me long to do would be if I have to buy more decals, or if I have to like strip it down and repaint it. I guess the car that I made for Murph, I painted the wrong color, so I had to strip that down and redo it. That one was because I'm colorblind, so I picked the wrong color. That one was 100% on me. I'm trying to think. Normally, once I have the car stripped and ready to go, and once I have the decals on hand, it doesn't take me that long. It really doesn't. I would say, I don't know. I could usually get a 124 scale car done in like 5 hours maybe. What I'll do is I'll time Roots' car when I make it for him. The longest custom diecast I made so far as the counter so much. Yeah, I would say probably a couple hours. I think the most, so if you go through the process, right, you have to get the car, you have to take it apart. That takes a couple minutes. Take the chassis off the bottom of the body, take the roll cage out, like just 164, then take the windows out. All that doesn't take that long. Sandblast it. I sandblast these cars, takes me about maybe 5 minutes for 164. I don't know. I haven't really timed it. It doesn't take that long. Then I have to paint it, throw a clear coat over top of that paint, typically, depending upon what the car is. After that, the decaling process. So like for these ones, we're doing 4 at a time, so the decaling length of time is going to be a little skewed. After that's done, clear coat over top of all that, and then put it back together. Clear coat takes 15 minutes in between coats to let it set, so 2 coats of clear. If it's a 124, typically I'll put 3 coats on, one starter coat, and then 1 medium coat, and then 1 heavy coat, and then putting it back together a couple minutes. So yeah, overall, I mean, it takes me weeks to do cars because of all that process. But yeah, if you're doing an entire car in a day and a half by putting white out on it, using your Sharpie to do everything, day and a half's not bad. It'll take me weeks to do cars, and sometimes months, depending upon when I can get the donors in. And like right now, I'm not clearing anything because it's like 0 degrees outside, so it's not really good for painting. I'm not really painting. I'm not really clearing. Once spring and summer rolls around, it's a different story, but winter is not the best time to work on this stuff. Unless we have a heated barn, which we do, but sometimes it takes a lot to heat it. So I see, excuse me, I see 50% of you guys, 4 out of the 8 are currently experiencing this snowstorm that is sweeping across the United States. If you guys haven't voted in the poll, please do so. I see we have, on my side, it says 4 people are watching, so thank you 4 for being here. We've had a couple people jump in and out. I don't really know what the YouTube number is. It's all over the place. Sometimes it says I have a lot, sometimes it's, well, a lot. I had 8 the other day. Sometimes we get new people in. A lot of times we get people that we've seen before in the stream, so it was really nice of Cody to jump in earlier. That was fun. But yeah. Ooh, now we're up to 9. 10 votes. 9 votes. 10 votes. Alright, that's kind of funny. 9 vote, 10 vote, 9 vote, 10 vote. And see, now we jumped up to 6 people watching. So thank you guys for all being here. We haven't even talked about what the title of the stream is yet. We can get into it now. I put the poll out, I think it was on Friday's stream, about the IMSA race, if you planned on watching it. Most people said yes. I also planned on watching it, and I did watch, do I want to say most of it? I don't know if I watched most of it. Looking good. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully you voted on the poll. Probably. I watched the start of the race. We were out to dinner Saturday. So we got home after dinner, turned the race on, pretty much watched the rest of the night, and went to sleep probably around midnight. We slept on the couch, which was fun. We got to, I don't know, I like sleeping on the couch because, I don't know, I'm weird, but we got to stay up late and watch most of it. And then I think I didn't see well, I didn't see the overnight thing. I heard in the morning that there was some shenanigans with the fog, and I saw some people tweeting and posting pictures and stuff. So I saw that they ran like 6 hours under caution or something, which is insane. I didn't really do any more research into whether or not they actually just rode around the track at caution pace, which I'm assuming is what they did. Otherwise, if they would have brought him down pit road, it would have been red flag conditions. So my assumption is that they just rode around under caution for those 6.5 or 7 hours, whatever it was, from about midnight until I think it was from like 12:18 to 7:30 or something like that. So that was pretty wild, pretty unfortunate. Then we woke up probably like 8 or 9. No, I woke up at like 8:30, and unfortunately for the for the Rolex race, there was a Premier League game on at 9. So I watched that, switched back to the race for a couple minutes in between the Premier League game at 9 and then the Premier League game at 11:30, and watched that. Manchester United and Arsenal. Villa was the early game, Villa Newcastle. Watched that, then went back to the race and caught the last, like, I think 15 minutes of the race. So, yeah, 6 hours due to the fog under caution is, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. I couldn't imagine, like, preparing for all that, doing all the work for the 24-hour race all winter long, and then having to run 6 hours under caution, just pacing the track. That would be so boring. But yeah, so I would say I watched, let's see, probably 6, 8, probably 8 hours, 10 hours maybe of the race total. So I didn't really pay too close attention, but I saw that Penske won in the Porsche in the GT prototype class. I saw that the LMP2 class, the car that won it, crashed on lap 1. So that was really cool. That was a really cool story that they were able to come back from a literally lap 1, turn 1 crash to win the race after 24 hours. Really cool story. The GTD Pro class, I think I was pretty disappointed in the outcome because the Aston Martin was too respectful of I think it was Mercedes. I think with like 3 or 4 minutes to go, they were side by side coming down in the tri-oval, and the Aston Martin was looking to the outside of the Mercedes. I think it was either Mercedes or BMW. I don't remember. And they were side by side, and the Mercedes / BMW, whatever that car was, came up the track and got into the side of the Aston Martin. At least I'm pretty sure it was Aston Martin. I really didn't pay attention. And then the Aston Martin had multiple chances that he got back to him and could have raced him a little less clean, but I guess props to them for racing clean and not having contact. Like, yeah, it's less entertaining, I suppose, but it was still a good race. And then the GTD class, I think they won that one by like 2 seconds or something, and it wasn't really. I think maybe that one was BMW. But yeah, so overall, I guess aside from the fog, it was a pretty good race. Felipe Nasr with Penske won it for the 3rd year in a row, I think they said, which, it's kind of annoying, but congrats to them. Like, they put together a good program and they could do it, so good on them for that. The stuff that I paid more attention to this weekend was the Premier League, and I'm a little annoyed about Peacock because you used to be able to, within the last year, and they must have just changed this. Probably at the end of the year. They probably changed it at the end of the year. You used to be able to watch all 10 matches for the weekend, like, the next day, or after the weekend was over. It's like if there's a game on Friday, 6 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. On Monday, you could watch all of those back on Peacock. Now, you can only watch what was on Peacock after the fact. So, I don't really know why they made that decision. I don't know why they made that change. There's probably a reason out there. But I'm really disappointed in that. Because a lot of times, for whatever reason, West Ham plays on USA. So I didn't get to watch it. I listened to it. But in the past, I could listen to the game and then watch it back after the fact. And now I can't do that for whatever reason. So I'm really disappointed about that. But with that being said, West Ham did win this weekend, which was nice. Kind of unexpected, but because Sunderland's been decent this year. Newly promoted side from last season. They came up to the Premier League. So getting the win at home against Sunderland was nice. They kind of put the game out of reach in the first half. It was 3-0 at halftime. So that was, again, surprising but awesome. And then, what else happened? Chelsea won, which was annoying. Didn't really want to see them win, because West Ham plays them next week. Nottingham Forest also won, which was unfortunate, because West Ham was chasing them for the relegation battle. So, didn't really need Forest to win. That was unfortunate. City also won. They played Wolves, so it was expected that they would win because they are City playing Wolves, which is the worst team. But West Ham shipped 3 goals against Wolves in the first half, so you never know. And then, what else? Liverpool lost to Bournemouth at the end of the game, like the 94th minute or 95th minute. That was, nobody tell Robert, but that was awesome. I like to see when they lose. And then the big one of the weekend was Arsenal-Manchester United, which was today. And that game was on at 11 on Peacock. And also, I don't know which games they decide to put on Peacock and which ones they have on USA. No idea. Doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I was glad I got to watch that one because it was a great game. First of all, league leaders, Arsenal. I don't like them. I want to see them not win the league. Well, let's step back for a second. Aston Villa played Newcastle. Aston Villa's kind of been hanging around the top 3 for a while. They had a really atrocious start to the season. Like, if they could have had just a decent start to the season, they could probably be tied, if not in the lead for the league. But they had an atrocious start. I think they lost like their first 5 matches, or they got no points or something from their first 5. Since then, they've gone on a tear, and they beat Newcastle today at Newcastle 2-0. So that was a really good result. Then Arsenal played Manchester United. Now, if you guys have been around the channel, I like Manchester United. I've liked them going back for years, like when Wayne Rooney played on the team, Juan Mata. Long time. So, like 2013, 2012, sometime around there. But anyway, they've been on the ascendancy. Michael Carrick's been their manager for the past... He's kind of like the interim manager since they got rid of Ruben Amorim. And they've been doing a lot better. They've been playing a lot better. And they were playing at Arsenal, which... The Emirates is basically like a fortress. Arsenal just doesn't lose there. They really don't lose any time this season. They're still in the FA Cup, Carabao Cup, leading the Champions League and leading the Premier League. But they've had quite a few unimpressive runs lately against some teams. Like they lost to Villa not too long ago, but then they beat Villa again. And then they've drawn... Who did they draw with? They drew with Wolves, I think. And they've just had some wacky scorelines, and they went into today's game against Manchester United, and United took it to them. It was a great game. Just like from a neutral standpoint, it was a great game. It was back and forth. Goals were scored. No red cards, no fights, nothing like that. It wasn't that scrappy, but both teams were going for it. Both teams... The first 15 minutes of the game were kind of unclean. It was just... Nobody could hold the ball for that long, and it was kind of all over the place. But after both of them settled in and some goals got scored, the game really opened up, and it was fun. It was a very fun game to watch. So from a neutral standpoint, very fun. I don't like Arsenal. I do like Manchester United. So for me, it was a little bit more nerve-wracking, I guess. But overall, it was a fun game. So, I don't know if any of you guys like the Premier League, but that's something aside from NASCAR that I enjoy. So, I see we have 10 votes in the poll. So, thank you guys for that. If you haven't been paying attention or have, this is the car we're making. I think this is like the last 4 streams that I've done have all been these cars. So I don't know if I'll do another one of these. Maybe I will. I have some other cars that I will be working on in the not too distant future, but for right now, this is kind of all I have while the weather is garbage. So, yeah, we'll see. Plus, I still have 14 more to go after these ones. So, but yeah, that's about it. I was excited to see Arsenal lose up the Villa. Yeah, the villains. The villains. I hope they can win it. It was cool because we got to see them play in Columbus was it last year or was it 2 years ago? Dang, it might have been 2 years ago. It might have been 2024. They came to Columbus to play the Crew in like a mid-season or a off-season warm-up game. And the Crew smoked them. It was like 4-1, I think. Maybe it was 5-1. It was either 4 or 5-1. Now, Villa didn't bring all of their best players. They had a couple of them. So it was cool to see those. Just the Premier League, it's just different. It's just different than the MLS. So it was neat to see how they trained and how they warmed up and how they played. Play style is a little bit different. But again, it was a lot of younger players, so I expected the Crew to win. Crew were in mid-season form, and they're one of the best teams in Major League Soccer. So for them to beat Villa was not surprising. But they're in third. They've been playing well. They had a horrendous game against Everton. That one did not make any sense to me. They played so bad. And it was a mistake that led to the goal that they conceded that gave Everton the win. But, I mean, other than that, they've been playing very well lately. Arsenal's been slipping a little bit. Arsenal still has to play City. City's just like that annoying... They just hang around. They're just there. And they're good enough to win the league, even on their bad years, and it's just annoying. So, Arsenal still have to go to City. I think it's in like April or something. So, that'll be interesting. Hopefully at that point, there's like a 3-way tie at the top of the league. And Arsenal and City draw with each other. And then Aston Villa can win whoever they're playing. Because that would be cool. I'd love to see Villa win the league. Unai Emery's done a really good job with the team. Ollie Watkins has been a stud. The goals they scored today, what was his name? What's the guy's name? Wendia, or whatever. The Brits say their R's wrong. So, the goals they scored today were quality. Another one from outside the box. I think they have the most goals scored from outside the box. I'm trying to think what else. Oh yeah, and then they have Emi Martinez, the Argentine goalkeeper. That dude's he's a goofball. He's an absolute spaz. So, yeah, I hope they do well. I would love to see them win the league. I don't know if I would love to see them win it more than I would hate Arsenal to win it, but it would be hilarious to see Arsenal lose the league again. Now, my former manager at work, he's a pretty big Arsenal fan. So, I haven't really talked to him a whole lot about the Premier League this year. Maybe I'll have to at some point. But, yeah, it's been heartbreak for him for the past couple years, and it's funny to get his perspective on it. Not that I enjoy other people's pain, but, like, I don't know, as a West Ham fan, and as a Manchester United fan, Manchester United hasn't been good in a while. So, I get the pain. And all of you guys who are out there that don't watch the Premier League or don't watch soccer at all are just checking out mentally. We'll get these streams more exciting once these ones for Cody are done. I'll probably do a stream where we just box them all up, maybe. You think that would be a good idea? Should I just do that? It'd be a pretty short stream, but what do you guys think? I'm not putting another poll in the chat. We're just going to roll with this one. But if you guys think that would be a fun stream to do, I'll probably do that. I'll just have to remember to do it. Because they all have custom boxes. I don't know if you guys know that. I feel like I've mentioned it before for the people that are here. Sounds good. Cool. Yeah, it'll be in a little bit. Couple weeks yet. How's the audio been? I have the microphone behind me and I'm kind of talking into my screen. And again, I am a little sick, so I don't know. But the microphone's off to this side. I didn't really mess with any of the settings, but I just wanted to... we're an hour into the stream and nobody's really said anything, so... I don't know if that's out of pity or if it just isn't that noticeable or isn't that bad. So hopefully, you know, whatever. Hopefully it's good. I was considering going later tonight, but I don't really know. I still don't feel great. I still do have to run, and I don't know. Sounds good, loud and clear, even like that. Alright, so the background music's good? Alright, that's good. That is good. Yeah, I think I'm thinking like maybe not the next stream, but I'm gonna look for some different music, see what else is out there. Pull something in. Give you guys something of a little different background sound. I was thinking maybe something like Epcot or Disney Springs. We'll have to consider it. I don't know if those are copywritten. If they are, I think we'll find out pretty quick, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel that great. Still just, I feel like I'm on the ascendancy of this cold, but maybe not. Maybe it was just a false sense of security. We have pretty much leveled off at 6 people watching, so thank you 6 people for hanging out on this Sunday evening. We would have had 7. Nice racing. He had to leave. I wonder if he had a soccer game. He might have. So he probably would have liked all the Premier League discussion, but yeah, we've had pretty much 6 for a decent amount of time now. So oh, it just dropped to 4. What? That's okay. You 4 are special. We're getting close. We're getting so close to hitting like a concurrent double digit. I think Cody probably hopped out too. Which is fine. He's got other obligations. But yeah. Also, I don't know how YouTube counts. I see we're back up to 6. Again, I don't know how they count. So it's really not about the numbers. As long as I can be entertaining and you guys enjoy being here. That's all that matters. The chat was flying earlier. Now it has stagnated. That's alright. I'm getting tired. Shoveled the driveway twice today. Then I'm gonna make the terrible decision that I need to go run as soon as the stream's over. So oh, yeah. I'll probably get these cars done tomorrow. I don't intend on doing a stream tomorrow. I'm just gonna get them done off stream. I still have to. So what I do for the tires and for the windshields, the windows, is I put that floor wax clear on them just to seal all of those in. So I still have to do that because obviously we're putting the tire decals on right now. That's fine. That's you're fine. Do not worry about that. Do not worry about that. Pay attention to the snowplow. That's more important than chatting on stream. We have had 46 views on the stream according to the YouTube counter, so that's good. That's a little bit higher, I think, than what we've been getting. And again, I anticipate during the season that number should get a little bit higher as we move on. Maybe I'll try and figure out some ways to make the streams more entertaining. I am now getting better with adding polls into the chat, so I'm remembering that better. So that is one good thing. We'll see if that helps. You know, having that little bit of interactive feature. Again, like I said, 10 of you guys have commented and said that you are, well, I guess 4 of you have said that you are not experiencing the snowstorm. 6 of you guys saying that you are experiencing the snowstorm. Do. See, like, I also posted this on Twitter, and like now you can watch YouTube straight from Twitter. So I don't know if like you go on there, and if you're watching it on Twitter, if it even shows up in the number that are concurrently watching on YouTube. I don't know how that works. And see, this number, that number on that screen dropped to 5. Oh, I guess that one just dropped to 5 too. Because this one would sometimes drop to 5 and then jump to 6. And that one wouldn't. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. What else should we talk about? What is another interesting topic? How many days till Daytona? I'm not sure. 20-something? It's coming up quick, I think. The Clash is coming up soon too. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't really care about the Clash anymore. It was interesting when it was a part of Speed Weeks and it was at Daytona, and it was the Budweiser shootout, and then they changed it to the Sprint Unlimited or whatever. I kind of cared more then. Because also it was like only the pole winners. I think it was only the pole winners and previous winners. So the field was pretty small. I don't even know what the criteria is now. I think everybody races in it, and then they dwindle it down. They have like heat races, and I don't even know what the format is. But again, it goes to show you how much I just don't pay attention to modern NASCAR. Like, this is the most optimistic I've been for a season in a while, but my optimism is still pretty low. Like, it's not that high. So we'll see. My optimism was kind of high when they brought the next gen, and that dropped like an absolute rock. It, like, as soon as we saw how that car raced and how it was injuring drivers, it's so, I don't want to call it funny, it's ironic that they make all of these safety advancements with the car tomorrow, and it sucked. Like, it raced terrible. Then they make all of these changes to it, and the cars race better, 2011, 2012. Then they go away from it. They abandon it. Bring out the new car, 2013. And then that race is like absolute junk for a year. They figure it out, make it race fantastic for 2014, and then just neuter that car and make it race like junk for the next 8 years or whatever. I don't know if there was another good year after that, to be honest with you. 2016, okay, 2015, so 6 years, essentially. Then they bring the new car in 2022, races like junk, and it injures drivers. Although Junior got a concussion at Michigan, I think it was. All right, James, I'll check it out. I saw my phone light up. I'm assuming that was you. I'll check them out after the stream. I might only go till 12 more minutes. My head kind of hurts. Being out in the cold is not fun. So I was out in the cold for about 40 minutes earlier. That wasn't fun. It's not like I wasn't bundled up, but I still got this cold. And I was out in the cold. So maybe I'll go have a snack, run, go to sleep. And then I'll try and finish these up tomorrow. It was me. Okay. Okay. Oh, wow. You sent a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. I'll check all those out. And my hands are cold sitting in the basement. It's not fun. I mean, it's fine, but... I'm working on this Friday's video already. It's my Ross Chastain cars from 2024, so we're like a year behind, over a year behind. I've had them for a while, I just didn't film them. Got them filmed. I'm trying something new this weekend, so you guys will have to let me know. Well, I guess weekend. It's on Friday. You'll have to let me know if you like it. So, if you don't typically watch the Friday videos, please do this week and give me some feedback. I'm looking for your guys' opinions on what I decided to do. I haven't recorded the audio yet, so I will do that sometime this week. But I've done a few different things with the video, and I'm hoping that it turns out cool. Well, I already see it, but I'm hoping that you guys like it. So we'll see on Friday. The Friday videos have been doing okay. Not super great. The DeAgostinis do the best, which I do have to do that one. Eventually I'll get around to it, but I've got a lot of other things going on. I have a lot of more customers with next gen cars. I don't have them. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I've probably made like probably less than 10 next gen cars. I don't like them. I don't like how they race. I don't like how they look. So I've probably only made like less than 10 of them ever. Between 164s and 124s. Let's see. I have maybe 10. One. I'm looking around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It might be less than 10. It might be less than 10. I don't like the next gen car. It's kind of funny how it's called that too. Kind of like the COT, the car tomorrow. Like that car of tomorrow quickly became the car of yesteryear. Like I just don't understand why they just can't call them like the Generation 4, Generation 5, 6, 7. Because like in 2013 they came out with the Gen 6 car. And that's what they called it, the Gen 6. And that car, it raced pretty good after 2013. Because that has a place in history. Like, next gen is going to be phased out at some point in the not too distant future. Whenever they come up with a new car. Hopefully soon. Bring back some horsepower. Take some downforce away. Bring back smaller tires. You know, if I had a list. But the name next gen implies that there's nothing going to be better about it. Same thing with the car of tomorrow. It's the car of tomorrow. It's always going to be the best. There's nothing going to be better because it's the car of the future. Turns out it was one of the worst decisions NASCAR's made in a long time. And they have a pretty good record of making bad decisions. Car of tomorrow was right up there. Thanks, Brian Franz. But yeah, whatever. I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. I'll check out all those pictures though. I'll look at them. All right. I'm gonna do these headlights, and then I'm gonna call it. Only an hour and a half stream tonight. I don't know. This cold's messing with my head. I hate to say it, but I don't really feel like talking tonight. I don't really feel that bad, but it's just, I don't know. I'm gonna finish up this stream here and then go relax for the rest of the night. Maybe I should just go to bed early. I probably should just do that. If I could put another poll in the chat, I would say, should I just go to bed early? And I feel like the majority of everybody would say yes. Which I'm also saying I should probably just go to bed early. Alright. 9:24. Yeah, shorter stream today, only an hour and a half. It was fun. We had some good discussions. We had some fun people jump in, as always. I appreciate your guys' support. It's fun. I'm glad we can hang out. It's a neat little community. We don't have, we don't have hundreds and hundreds of people tuning in. Although we are up to 444 subscribers. So that's cool. We're nearing that 450 mark, and then the next milestone's 500. So we're creeping ever closer. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, the goal is 500 by the end of the year. We're inching towards it. I have a feeling that the channel might tick up a little bit once the season starts, and I'll make some more cars related to some drivers that are currently on tracks. Sorry, Cody, I know you don't have plans to race, but I'll be probably making cars for the Sieg team, and I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, we'll talk about the races, we'll interact with everybody. So yeah, should be fun. I will always do my best to entertain you guys with the live streams or the Friday videos, or if it's a D'Agostini on an off day that I just randomly post. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna call it there. We made some pretty good progress. We got the nose decal on. I did that off stream, but we got that on. We did the hood decal. We did the back TV panel. We did the windshield, half of the tire decals, and then the headlights. So pretty productive stream. I'm going to end the poll here. We got 60-40, so 6 out of you 10 people are interacting with the storm currently. Somebody voted 11. You even have some custom wrecked diecast. Have you seen the Clint Boyer and Jeff Gordon car on my channel? That was from somebody else just showed up, so now our concurrent viewers ticked up to 7, which that person must have voted in the poll. Hi, the stream is about to be over. Pretty early on, I made a video of Clint Boyer's wreck from the Daytona 500 from 2007, and then Jeff Gordon's wreck from the Charlotte race in 2007. Both of those I did complete customs from the ground up. Take a look at those. The Clint Boyer car is on an Elite chassis. I don't remember. Here, I can. Let me find it. 1 second. It's out there. Channel dashboard. See, I was just getting ready to go to sleep, ready to hop off, and you're asking important questions. All right, 1 second. It was from a while ago. It was like one of my first videos. So you have to watch it with a grain of salt, okay? Because it's not very good. But that's, the quality is not important. It's what the content is. It's from Man, it was a while ago. Wow, how long ago was it? Okay, there it is. It's from July 12th, 2024. So if you want to go check those out, I don't really make a lot of crashed version diecast, but go check that one out. It's well, it's got the old intro. Yeah, there you go. So there it is. Jeff, I tried to clickbait the title. It didn't work. Oh, there's a transcript on there? Interesting. But anyway, yeah, go check that one out. It's, we can just look at it here. I did put the video in of the crash, right? So that's Clint Boyer's wreck. And there's the car. Now, one thing that I know, that I do know now, is my filming is better. So, yeah, and then there's that. And then here's Gordon's wreck. So, yeah, that was a fun one. Both 124 scale cars. Yeah, I don't really make too many of those, but I understand the reason why if you have a duplicate of a car, making it into a custom of something else. So, all right, guys, it is 9:30. I appreciate you being here, hanging out with me tonight. We'll get these cars finished up in the not too distant future, and we'll be live for another stream some other time. I don't know when, but you know, click notifications, all that fun stuff. Subscribe, all that, which you probably, all 6 of you probably already are, or 7, hopefully. But yeah, if yeah, throw the confetti in the chat. Confetti. All right. I hope you guys have a good night. For the, let's see, for the 6 people that are dealing with the winter weather, I hope you guys have a good night and stay warm. For the 5 people who are not, you are lucky. Enjoy your warmth, and I will talk to you guys later. So thanks again for being here. I appreciate the support. Have a good night. Bye, everyone.